Well, it's been 47 long days since the last time we did our last broadcast. That was episode 236. This is episode 237. Would you have ever imagined that we would have taken part of the summer off?
I mean, I think so. We just had a lot going on, and,
So this morning we pre-announced for BitNile Holdings a stellar, remarkable quarter. And to say that we have a lot going on is an understatement. I actually put out a tweet today that said, hey, those of you who wonder why we acquired control of the singing machine should understand that 40 years of logistics and know-how matter when you're launching a marketplace. We couldn't be happier to have that position. And look, it contributed in the third quarter $16 million of top line.
Yep.
Right? So we have a process here. We know what we think. At least we think we know what we're doing. I mean, we kind of hope we know what we're doing. Skyla, what's up?
I'm just happy to be back. It's been a crazy little period here.
It has, hasn't it?
Yeah, with you gone, and I mean, we got a lot of stuff done here. You had time to go explore and have a good time. We're happy you're back.
Yeah, we did a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff.
Yeah, you were on.
I went to Africa, and I went to Cyprus and Israel and Rome. I had business in Cyprus. I was on vacation in Africa, although I did, for the marketplace, see something really interesting that they were a lot. They took me. Imagine that if you think about the Nile River, like what the BitNile is, right? The concept of a marketplace that is derived from the original merchant place. Being in Africa was really interesting because they took me to a mart there, in which I could see how amazing it would be for those products to be available in the U.S. And then Bitcoin is a global product, right? You can pay for everything in Bitcoin, theoretically, as long as the country's not on a FinCEN list or like an Iranian country or North Korea. So I had a good time there. I'm going to get some videos together and have Brett and Christy edit them so you guys can see some crazy stuff in Africa that happened.
Yeah, there was some wild stuff you sent there.
Really crazy
cool
stuff. Everybody, this is Risk On. It is Monday the 10th, and it is exactly 47 days since the last time we did a show. This is episode 237. Yesterday, we had the luxury of going to Charlotte. We have a new partnership with the Money Team, partially owned by boxer Floyd Mayweather, the professional boxer, the undefeated champion. I guess what some people say, basically pound per pound, the greatest fighter ever. Sure. I don't know. I don't know enough about boxing to know whether that's, I remember watching Sugar Ray Leonard and Muhammad Ali and Larry Holmes and Roberto Duran, the No Mas fight between, So I love boxing. MMA obviously is a big sport now too.
Oh yeah.
You still like boxing?
Not really.
No?
Not really. There's no really big marquee heavyweights anymore.
Are you an MMA guy?
Yeah, I like MMA.
Right.
Plus, I like the leadership.
Who's your favorite in MMA?
I don't know if I really have a favorite. I like Dustin Poirier. He's pretty good.
Dustin Poirier?
Yeah, I like him. He's a hard worker.
Right.
Doesn't talk a lot. Just goes out there and performs.
Right. The field that did the Money Team, they put out the number 50 Chevrolet, the Camaro ZL1. Connor Daly made his NASCAR Cup debut at the Charlotte Motor Speedway over the weekend. This track is an oval configured with it transforms an oval that's usually a mile and a half to 17 turns. That's 2.2 mile road course. He finished the race, which was our only goal for him. He did a great job. We were very happy. Actually, he moved up the field, so he did pretty good.
Yeah.
He advanced his position, and he got better over time. You can see this because Connor's never raced NASCAR, so that we just threw him in the car and said, "Go!"
Literally.
And, hey, here's the keys. Let's go.
Yeah.
At one point during practice, the steering wheel broke. The actual thing broke, and he went into the wall. Not his fault, but he did great in the race. I was really thrilled. His fastest lap was lap 90.
Yeah, I mean, imagine getting into a car at a car dealership, just you. Say you want to go test drive a new car.
Right.
And it's kind of awkward. You got to sit down, adjust the seats, adjust the mirrors, get used to everything. Connor just did the same thing, only at like 160 miles an hour.
No, he just got in there. And, hey, Brett, I heard we had a clip. You going to roll that?
BitNile, go Connor! Woo!
guys like these pictures, don't you? So those of you who are interested in what we're doing there, you see that BitNile.com. You can go to BitNile.com and you can sign up and get on the list. And the people that are on that list now, and by the way, that is racking up because we've been advertising at Indy, we've been advertising at NASCAR. These are our chosen paths. It's so funny to me, Jason, before we get to what I consider to be the worst market conditions I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
For other reasons, too, by the way. I noticed we pre-announced today, and because, you know, we want to make sure people understand. I've been buying back stock, and the hedge fund has been buying stock in the open market through a 10b5, 1018 plan, so that's sort of automatic. But I went and I looked today, and I saw Nile trading, not really up much. Mm-hmm. And I see people's speculation, but when I saw it today, I decided to read one of the comments, and I thought to myself, you can really say anything you want. And so these people said here in a comment, they said, on an accrual basis, they claim the revenue now of Mike's. Yeah, because we own control. And on a cash basis, the company's broke. We're broke? What? And so when I saw that, I thought to myself, people could just say whatever they want to say. They literally... And so I've come to the conclusion, if you hate us, you hate us. And if you like us, you like us. Kind of the tribal way things are going today with Biden and sort of the Republicans, right? If you either like them or you don't. There's like kind of no in the between, right? I mean, everything's tribal, right?
Yeah.
So either you like us or you don't. But the facts are what the facts are. And here's the facts, that we had a stellar quarter. We do own control of the Singing Machine, and we are launching a marketplace.
We do have the numbers here if you want to put them up.
Oh, can you? Let's put them up.
Nick, on my screen. We can just review this.
Yeah, real quickly. So I think we're at 99 million. That's our estimate. I mean, these are not final numbers. Obviously, they're subject to change, but they're 99 million for the first 9 months. Mm-hmm. But something's on there. Can you zoom up a little bit?
Let me go a little.
Something's on there I want to bring to people's attention a little bit, and that is
about as big as I can do.
That you have a crypto headwind. Just imagine you're a guy and you walk outside and you got to piss. You got to take a pee really bad, right? And the wind is 200 miles an hour in your face. You're going to pee all over yourself. It's not going to go anywhere, right? I mean, is that a good analogy, or do you not like the analogy?
Well, we could do it a
The
different
crypto
way.
wind is in your face.
It is.
And yet we mined more crypto, or as much crypto, in a declining environment. So that just tells you we installed more miners.
Yeah, so crypto mining.
So I don't know why that guy could say we're broke, because, I mean, unless you don't think Bitcoin has anything, or the cash we raised, or the stuff we have in the lender. But I won't comment on that anymore. But my point here is that we continue to do what we say we're going to do. We're going to continue to grow the underlying business lines. Did you see, by the way, on the quarter, the estimates for turn on green were dramatically improved from the prior quarter, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
They had a logistics, really kind of a supply chain chip shortage issue that they had prior, and I think that some of that got a little remedied.
Yeah, almost 90% increase.
But it's the weirdest thing for me to be in this predicament, which is like, I don't want to be happy the price is down, but of course then I get to buy more. And I don't want to be, I would prefer it be higher, but listen, the market conditions are what they are. I can't control those market conditions. But you can see when people are upset, they sure want to blame me for everything, which is an interesting, I mean, I guess this is the nature of it, right? If you're the head of the company, you're going to be blamed for them putting their life savings in something. I don't know. I get these emails that said I put my life savings in your stock, and I'm like, why?
Well, you didn't click the buy button.
I know, but why would you do that?
Yeah, well.
And this goes back to an important point, which is that everything should be in moderation, and no one should be sending me an email or a text saying they put all their money in Nile, especially if you've been watching this show. This is episode, I believe, 237, and for about 100 episodes, we've been telling people, be careful with the market. I mean, last March we were basically saying the world's on fire.
Be careful with the market. Biden's wiped out $7.2 trillion into stock market value.
Well, you mean since he's been in administration?
Correct.
Right? And let's get to those numbers because
Excuse me,
really
7.6.
this is a market update now, and really when you look at the numbers, the decline. I mean, I don't want to speak I want to speak correctly here, but I believe all the gains that were that you got under Trump, and all the gains during COVID, are gone.
Yeah, the Dow's at 29,200.
Right.
I mean,
so what does that look like from like where the Dow was a year ago versus 2 years ago? I mean, when you look at this, what does it look like to you?
well, we could take a look at the.
I'd like to actually go over the numbers because they're fairly terrible.
Yeah, I mean the Dow Jones Industrial. We can look at it when Trump took office, but I'm almost certain that it's about that level back in the 16.
Well, I think it's below
Might be
that
below
level,
it, actually,
right?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's not only the case.
Just the 52-week range on the Nasdaq, you put or not the Dow, you had a 36,950, and you have a low of 28,704. So you're kind of really pretty close to the lows, right?
Yeah, and the inflation is pretty close to the highs. So when you put those together with the energy policies and the geopolitical, uncertainty, and they always were claiming that the Orange Man was going to get us nuked and going to start wars, and the Orange Man didn't do any of that. And now the mashed potato brains is telling people to take what is that pill you take to try to suppress nuclear material in your body?
Yeah, radioactive isotopes or something like that, or isotopes.
Now we're worried about like going to fallout shelters and bunkers and everything.
Gosh.
So
you go back to the date is February 2016 of 2020, and you got a Dow that's right before the calamity of that sell-off. You're back to that level, right?
yeah,
And you're really giving back all the post-pandemic gains, every bit of it, right?
And
all
then,
of it.
And then he wanted to take credit for reducing gas prices because he basically decimated the strategic oil reserve. So they were touting how gas prices have come off the highs of his administration, and now they're going right back up again. Does he want to take credit for that? I mean,
I'm not going to comment on him personally, but since his administration has taken over, right? Have we not given up all the gains of what's taken place?
Yeah.
Every bit of them, right?
Yeah, and we've actually,
Right.
the national debt's now $31 trillion. Nothing's getting better there.
But to give him credit, it wasn't getting better under Trump either, though.
No, it wasn't. But
No.
the last $4 trillion have come at a record pace. Like,
Have they?
yeah, one year.
So when we look at the Qs and we think about the triple Qs in the same manner, we see a bigger percentage sell-off there. Oh, my God, right? The Qs have, just trying to look at this from they've done the same thing. They're a little bit worse, are they not?
Tech, yeah, for sure. It has.
Tech is a little bit worse
Yeah.
here. So what's the S&P down for the year so far? Can you check for me real quick?
Yeah, I'd have.
Because I look at this and think to myself, when the S&P's down 25%, where is it at 1 year, 5 year, and 10 year? And I think there's only been one time that it's been down 25% that it wasn't up in a 10-year period after that.
Correct.
So you kind of got to start thinking about, well, some of these things may be overdone. I mean, some of them may go to zero, but some of them, like individual stocks, but some of these things are probably overdone.
If you put $100 in the S&P from the beginning of 2022 till now, you would have lost 16.23%.
The beginning of 22.
Yes. Yep. Start year 22, end year 22, $100 investment return of 84. So
you're saying it's down 16%. That must be with reinvested dividends.
Let's
Because
see.
I'm hearing that the S&P. Oh, is that from its highs? Is that the issue?
That's just January till now.
No, I know, but from a high perspective, is that from their highs?
We're getting different numbers here.
No, I know, but from the high, if you look at the S&P, I think that it's down like about 25% or more from its high.
That's probably right.
The S&P's at 360, and the high was 479, right? So 360, 479, that's a big number.
Yeah.
That's 100. That's more than 100 points from the high.
Is that what it is? 360 to 479.
Right.
Let's see.
That's a big. That's a big number.
It's just frustrating.
Yet, in terms of liquidity,
24.85%.
right. So it's a 25% pullback from the high.
Yeah.
But you're saying for the year down 16%.
Yeah, that's with if you put a $100 bill. If you put a $100 bill into the S&P.
Right.
And then, of course, we talk about the other things that are going on. Current 30-year fixed rate mortgage, according to bankrate.com, national average 7.04% currently today. Crime waves going everywhere. People, you saw what happened in Vegas. We were out of town.
Oh, the stabbing?
The stabbings in front of the Wynn.
Was it because basically, I guess the new policy is if you don't get it, they say no to the picture, you could just stab them?
So the story is what we're hearing
Well,
is...
that's what happened,
yeah,
right?
the guy asked
the
about
guy
it.
was mad that he didn't get a picture.
Yeah. So he said he claimed he was a chef, and he had a big butcher knife on him. And, of course, they're weirded out. If a guy came up to you and said, hey, can I get a picture with you with a big butcher knife?
Kind of weird.
Yeah, that was unfortunately...
It's really terrible, actually.
It's an awful situation.
Because I think there were some locals, not that we want
No.
people that are visiting to be stabbed.
Doesn't matter.
We don't want anyone to be stabbed.
The guy was...
But it was, there were locals, and that would be a horrible way to die.
Yeah. So that happened.
That would be a horrible way to die.
Crime is up everywhere.
Skyla, did you hear about this stabbing?
I did. It was actually I found out yesterday one of the girls that was stabbed was Khalik's cousin.
Yeah.
I found that out yesterday at the race. So he found out online, which was crazy.
It was Khalik's cousin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did she live?
Yeah, she's just in critical care, but yeah.
Just in critical care.
Well, she's alive. So I mean that's
no,
good.
I know. I'm
She
just
didn't
like,
she didn't die.
Terrible.
And then a bunch of showgirls have quit since then because it's just like, why would you be out there? This is going on. It's just a bunch of crazy stuff. It's very scary.
Yeah. Criminal record in California. Here in the country illegally. Of course, fentanyl is the leading killer now for in Nevada for people ages 18 to 45.
Can you imagine you're an EV company? I'm going to transition from stabbings to company stabbing.
Sure.
Imagine you're an EV company and you go public, your stock goes to billions of dollars. You're owned by Ford and Amazon. And then all your vehicles, all of them that you ever made are recalled.
Rivian.
And they're beautiful. Have you seen these things?
Yeah, they're nice.
They're really nice.
Yeah.
And apparently all of them were recalled, a gigantic recall. Now, this happens to vehicles all the time where there's some defect. And I guess the positive thing is that when you have a vehicle out there, something's wrong, they need to fix it. Do you know anything about this recall?
No, I just know that it said basically all of their trucks in essence. So I think was it steering?
Yeah, it said something about the issue involves a fastener that may not have been tightened properly at the factory. I guess that kind of happened to Connor a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Where the steering wasn't properly fastened and he went into the wall in practice. So I guess you just got to take them all back and then get your steering wheel retightened.
So that's a big undertaking. That's a lot of vehicles.
Yeah, that's probably, what does it cost? If you 14,000 vehicles and let's say it's $300 a vehicle.
Speaking of taking stuff back, how about PayPal? PYPL.
Yeah. So what's the deal? I was waiting for you to get to PayPal.
PayPal.
No, hold on a second. This PayPal thing is really, really interesting.
Yeah. PayPal said basically if they catch you providing misinformation or disinformation somewhere in social media, they will fine you $2,500. They will take that out of your account. And, of course, Elon Musk brought that to light, and you're seeing a massive wave of people closing their PayPal accounts. You know, that's something that is it's really not
so let me understand this. If I have a PayPal account and I post something on social media
that they deem misinformation,
they're going to fine me?
Yeah, they're gonna debit your account $2,500.
When I saw that, I was like,
social credit score.
When I saw that, I thought to myself, what?
Todd, it's the tinfoil hat, right? It's just a conspiracy theory. There's nothing that could go wrong with central bank digital currency or having a Fed coin.
So I just want to know,
this is real.
Is this a talking point or is this real?
This is
Because when
real.
I saw this morning, I thought to myself, so if I have a PayPal account, PayPal will find me if I say something on social media that isn't correct.
Let's say, hey, you get on there and you say, ivermectin does not help people with COVID.
I know, but does this mean like because I'm using it like as a payment service, like
No.
it's connected to my website, they'll find me?
It's wokeism. It's your social credit score. This is what I think was a dry run on how people would react to this. Because let's face it, this is exactly what happens in communism.
Skyla,
They just
you're
skip
staring
socialism
straight ahead.
and go
You
right to
believe-
communism.
I'm watching.
Are you a believer in that? Did you hear what we're
crazy.
No,
saying?
yeah, I'm watching through here, but yeah, that's
Do you have a new monitor?
insane. Yeah, so I can see what's on the screen like right ahead.
So if you guys don't
yeah.
believe me, you can just you can reference Elon's Twitter. You can reference Tim Pool on Timcast. You can see PayPal scrambling. And you can see like places, Wall Street Bets, Wall Street Silver, massive people closing their PayPal
Okay,
accounts.
PayPal says policy to find customers for misinformation was an error.
Oh, it was an error.
Now they're saying
You mean it actually got-
PayPal
yeah.
tells users it will fine them $2,500 for misinformation, then backtracks immediately.
Well, let me guess your source: Media Matters, PolitiFact, MSNBC, CNN. Which one is it?
No,
Total
This
bullshit.
is on Reuters.
They got caught.
Fortune.
They got caught, and now they're paying the price. Let's look at their one-year chart, Todd. This is really firing me up. Let's look at their one-year chart.
Well, I mean,
270.
This is what I talked about with digital currency.
Yeah,
So
they're getting pummeled.
we talk about the reason why there's Bitcoin and why centralized digital currency is a problem. Let's say you're Skyla, and you have digital dollars in your digital wallet, and
Yeah.
you decide that you're 21 years old, and you decide you're going to go to a concert that maybe has scantily clad people there, and maybe they're smoking a little weed.
Why would you even think
And
about that?
no, the problem here is that Skyla is perfect. She lives in a state where you legally can smoke weed. By the way,
Right.
I was with her. We were back in New York at our new hotel, which opened up, and Skyla wasn't even drinking. So I guess this is the new improved conservative Skyla.
Nope,
but
just sober October.
sober October. But let's say you're Skyla and you want to go to this concert. You buy a ticket and you use your digital dollars, and then you support a couple groups there that maybe have some extracurricular activities.
Okay.
And then someone gets that information in the wrong hands and then uses it against Skyla with her employer.
Right. They're taking the moral high ground. They're projecting. Skyla's done nothing wrong.
Right. She's perfectly within her legal rights to do what she's doing.
So
This is this is the point, and that is absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Oh, it's for
This is
sure.
an issue, right? What you see happening here is people thinking, well, I trust the government to do the right thing.
yeah.
But the government is made up of people who make mistakes, and they're also made up of people who write those things on my Twitter account, too, which are factually incorrect. All kinds of people work in all kinds of industries. And so it's a scary proposition that PayPal, I mean, they're backtracking, but they would fine you $2,500 under what precedent?
Yeah.
This is insanity about, so let's go back to this precedent about Kanye.
Yeah.
So, or is his name Ye now? Ye?
Yay.
By the way, he's made a ton of dough. This guy's real, man. This whole Adidas thing he's got, and his whole Easy brand and all this, he's made a ton of dough.
These
man.
politicians and some of these government people and some of the media members are like, well, Kanye, is out of control. And his response was something to the fact that, no, they're just pissed off because they can't control me.
Right.
So, yeah, kudos to him, man. He's
Yeah.
a free thinker.
He keeps himself, but he got blocked.
Of course he got blocked.
Now, they unblock him because he got blocked on Instagram or on Twitter.
Well, both. And
But I saw a tweet from him today.
is he back on Twitter?
I'm completely confused. Is
Yeah,
he
okay.
blocked or not blocked?
Somebody help me out there. I'm not on social media except for Instagram, but that's just for fun.
Right.
Twitter canceled me a long time ago.
They did.
Yeah.
Well, was that had anything to do with the guns that you had blazing on the front of your page?
No, not at all.
Even I was afraid for a second. You had that strap with the guns like this. You're like, yeah,
They just
come see me.
They didn't like that I suggested that a certain group of people should be taken
I
care
remember this.
Yeah.
I remember this.
So whatever.
Because you don't like the pedophiles or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Yep, that's scary stuff. All right, so PayPal's backtracking.
PayPal's already toast anyway.
Why are they toast?
I mean, look at their stock. It's in the tank.
Well, look at our stock. It's in the tank, and we're not toast.
Well, they're
Don't
in
be
trouble.
so negative.
They're in trouble. Well, I'm choosing not to do business with them. That's okay.
Yeah, that's
if you
fine.
like to do business with them, that's your choice.
I don't do business with them.
That's the difference between
I use Bitcoin.
left and right.
Yeah.
So if I don't like something on TV, then I'll turn the channel. Bill,
I use Bitcoin.
yeah, that's fine. Bitcoin's
Right.
great. Bitcoin's not political. I like Bitcoin. So
There's no one in control of Bitcoin that you know of, right? Except for maybe Michael Saylor.
He
Only owns one out of 161.
You know why I like
Bitcoins.
Bitcoin? Because it can't be printed.
It can't be printed.
There's only a finite number of coins.
Right.
21 million.
That's why I like them too.
Yeah, that's a really.
That's why we're creating the Bitcoin marketplace. Now, by the way, for those of you who are going to be signing up for the Bitcoin marketplace, you can go to bitnile.com and get on the list. And if you're on the list early, you're going to get something, I think, special. Hopefully, should join that. I mean, you're not paying anything to join. You're just getting on the email list, right? So get on the list.
Ecos says, "Is this a PayPal show?" No, it's much bigger. It's much bigger than that. It's much bigger than that. If you think this is a PayPal show, that's not even the message. The message is overreaching companies, overreaching governments, total control. You'll own nothing and be happy. Skip socialism straight to communism. That's what PayPal was trying to do with their little feeler bet. So that got caught right away. So it's good to see that the masses recognize that was a problem and they're going to vote with their wallets. I appreciate that. Somebody mentioned Alzamend, Todd. Do you want to talk about? We haven't talked about. It looks like they're looking at the markets and saying Alzamend is actually hanging in there based on what the markets are doing. I mean, I'm allowed to look at the chart.
Alzamend, just for full disclosure, because I'm dealing with that stuff as we speak,
Sure.
actually. I am the founder of Alzamend. I am the largest shareholder by physical size. That's like weight and height. By the way, those of you texting me about my weight and height, I'm aware of what I weigh, and I'm aware about how tall I am. So you don't need to even waste your time letting me know about my weight. But I appreciate it if you have the time to just keep me informed about that. I'll pay attention from time to time by reading your ridiculous tweets. Can you imagine the way they talk to me? I wonder how they talk to their wife or their spouse or their girlfriend. Wow.
Yeah.
Really, this is very bad behavior.
Out of bounds.
What's out of bounds?
You didn't hear that whistle?
Loser.
There it is.
Yeah. What was that noise?
I think the
Whistle.
officials called a flag.
Oh,
Flag on the
that's
play.
a whistle. That's
Yeah.
a whistle. Oh, got it. Yeah. And we're all over today because we haven't been here in 47 days, but we're not all over as much as you think we are.
Well, and that's not. I mean, that's true. We're working. I mean, we're doing a lot of stuff. That's why we're not
We
on
are.
the air.
We are.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
But the show's being reformatted. Because you
Good.
got the marketplace coming.
Yeah.
You're going to be hosting your own show eventually.
Sure.
You got a lot going on here in terms of gold and silver.
A lot of value there.
So let's get to the gold and silver market where they're trading. Gold has been around for thousands of years.
Yep.
As a trusted commodity. Silver seems to not be able to get out of its own way.
Silver's $19.64. Historically, it is off its all-time highs by a lot, $50 all-time high, give or take. So gold's 1,675 right now. So that ratio is probably 85-ish, 86 if I had to guess.
Gold is down.
Gold's down pretty good. I mean, the dollar's...
What's the normal lifting cost for that? Like
Well,
a normal...
the all-in sustainable cost, depending on the operations, some of the elite operations, probably $1,200 to $1,400 per ounce. And of course, energy prices have been soaring because of the way
it costs more to get the gold out.
Yeah, so what happens if silver and gold, it costs more to get it out of the earth than the actual spot price in fiat currency? You know what happens then? Supply will actually decrease.
Right.
Demand is going up actually through the EV projects, solar, green.
I think people realize the so funny part about like the environmentalists, like, do they realize how much an EV car has in plastic, which is made out of petroleum?
Yeah.
I mean, they should watch the show with David Faber about Exxon and how much money Exxon is putting into making petroleum products.
The people are out of touch if they really think they can get rid of fossil fuels like immediately. This is crazy.
You know, when I was on the road, I thought to myself, I'm being trolled by the Biden administration.
Yeah.
Why? Because they don't want to have offshore drilling.
Right.
They want
No new
to do
permits in
something
Anwar.
with Bitcoin.
Right.
They want to restrict certain behaviors in lending.
Sure. they want to suppress capitalism, I think, macroeconomically.
You think so?
They really do, based on their policies. Now what happens remember when Trump talked to Germany and back in 2017?
Yeah, they laughed at him, right?
They laughed because he said basically you guys are getting in trouble with
You're going to be in trouble if you put all your eggs in the Russia basket.
Correct, and they were just laughing. Now you're seeing NORAD got Nord Stream got imploded. We don't know who did that.
Right.
We have an idea, but we can't mention it. So you're looking at Germany now and Europe having trouble coming into the wintertime with energy. There's going to be a lot of blankets instead of a lot of heaters. There's a lot of issues there with gas prices, energy altogether. And so now you're seeing the policies and you're seeing what happens when you put all your eggs in one basket.
I saw Jamie Dimon saying basically this is serious, and he warns the U.S. will tip into a recession in 6 to 9 months. Paul Tudor Jones says we believe we're in or near a recession, and stocks haven't bottomed.
That's true, in my opinion. Do you think that the Fed is going to pivot with all of the wealth that's been lost in 401ks, pensions, stock markets? You don't want the bond market to implode. The bond market's like 3 to 5 times larger than the stock market. What do you think about the Fed actions coming into Q4 and into the first quarter of 23, Todd?
They're going to overshoot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you've seen like a lot of the Fed presidents talk about sticking to the plan. We're going to get a handle on inflation. They're going to need to have the Fed funds rate up around 6 to 8% just to have a chance at this. And I think real inflation is 12
What
to 15%.
do they mean by Bitcoin mining hits record high?
We had a big adjustment. And Crypto Joe could come in and talk with us
How big
about
of a
it.
high adjustment do we have?
Joe, I think it was 8.8%. And if you look at the actual adjustments for the next block, for the next period here, let's look at it. So, Nick, go to my screen real quick.
Why was the adjustment so big?
There's a lot of exahash brought online. So there's the global hash rate currently. The 1 month chart, it's over 300 exahash. So you're seeing.
Oh, that's parabolic.
Yeah, look at the 1 year. I mean, we're up there. I mean, it's 301 now. 1 week. There's a lot of miners have been brought online. Now let's look at the difficulty here. Let me just.
Now we're one of those guys.
Yeah,
right? we've been bringing exahash on.
Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely. So difficulty chart. Let's look at the 1 year. Look at the 1 year. So 35.61 trillion. Let me go down here one second, Nick. So
41 trillion.
Yeah, look at this. That's the estimated next block adjustment. Now this should be this should come down quite a bit. But 16.5% more. So it's getting harder and harder to mine Bitcoin. And energy is at a premium. So it's very vital to miners' operations that they are able to obtain a good source of energy with the pressure, with all the geopolitical pressure.
That's a big
number. So what happens is you're seeing a lot of the miners that have hosting agreements that they paid 8 to 12 cents per kilowatt hour.
They're getting crushed.
Yeah, they're just not profitable. So it's
Right.
we're very fortunate that we have.
We are fortunate that we have Michigan.
Yeah.
But that, the difficulty hitting new highs with Bitcoin going down, right?
Well, it's going to be that'll take a lot of miners offline, so that'll adjust. This polices itself. So
And that's sort of what Satoshi created, right?
Yeah.
This
So-
sort of ability to police itself.
yeah, so you're going to see, and you know what? It's been decentralized quite a bit too. It's good for it's good for the network to have a lot of various miners come on board.
Right. No one person
Yeah.
really kind of controlling the network, etc. Dow down today, 93. NASDAQ, S&P down. Well, NASDAQ continues to look weak for sure. Kathy Woods wrote an open letter to the Fed.
What did she say? Make it stop?
Says they're risking an economic bust with the way the pace of the way they raise rates.
Oh, crypto's in the chat. 8.8%. Okay. So, no. Ala says you would think rising power costs would bring global hash rate down. You would think that is. I agree with that. Next generation miners being brought online. That's correct. The XPs are being brought online. We've been taking delivery of XPs.
Let's answer. I'm going to go to the chat and see if we can answer some questions. So Joe Crypto saying 8.8%. Wow.
Here's a question. Let's see.
Well, the next generation miners are being brought online. That makes sense. We brought on some of the 140s.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
So it's going to come to a point where can the technology keep up with the difficulty adjustments?
Right.
And will Bitcoin be, reverse out of this crypto winter? And will we see a higher price discovery with Bitcoin?
Right.
And what will happen in the midterms geopolitically if the Democrats lose power and their dream of the central bank digital currency goes away, and the pressure on ESG and what happens in the crypto space gets reversed. So there's a lot of stuff that's actually very, very important that's coming in
Mr.
November.
X asked a question, how does Nile get back on its feet? Nile isn't on its feet. Nile's price is one thing. Nile's business is another. I watched, by the way, just so we get this out of the way, I'm not saying we're Amazon or anything like that. I'm not Jeff Bezos. But I watched an interview with Jeff Bezos where he said he saw the stock price come to $4 from $100, but his business was doing great internally. And while we're not perfect because Bitcoin is beginning more difficult to mine, when you say Nile's back on its feet, we just had a record third quarter. I believe, and I want to make sure I'll verify this, but I believe that's the biggest third quarter in the company's history ever in the whole 22 or 3 years of being a public company. And when you look at the footprint of revenue and other things we have going on, remember all of our miners weren't deployed, so you got a lot more miners to put in. We got a lot more miners to come on hash rate wise. We have AdTech Pharma, which we hope goes public next year. We have a big position in Alzamend. People forget, like, with Alzamend being like at $1.35, $1.50, you add up what shares we have on a percentage basis of the market cap. Some of our holdings are. By the way, did you see Mullen?
Yeah.
Wow, that thing has gotten hit hard. So they bought
Big.
the Bollinger Motors.
Yep.
And then they're trying to buy the last mile thing.
Yeah, what is Mullen now? Under 30?
No,
Under
it was
30
20.
cent?
I saw it this morning. It was 25 cents.
Yeah, 20.
Where'd it close?
0.2677.
Yeah.
0.2, yeah, wow.
So that thing is really down from where it was, and they raised a lot of cash. We were an investor.
Wow.
Personally, it's worked out for us there pretty well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, really. BitNile is worth 18 cents a share. I invested at $1. Okay,
All right.
I got you.
Sure.
Sure. Let's see here. Positive cash flow. Any comments? Buybacks, ATM closing comments. I think you should stick around for the 17th call that's coming up next week, and obviously
Next Monday. Okay,
Yeah, for sure.
we're wondering about compliance issues.
what compliance?
Yeah.
BitNile does not have the same issue as the NASDAQ. It can be below $1.
BMR, are you talking about shareholder equity? Because that's not a problem.
Yeah, we have shareholder equity, and I believe the net worth of the company was pretty high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're
I
fine.
mean,
there.
I think that the requirements are like $6 million for net equity, and I don't even know. The last time we checked, wasn't our net equity like maybe $350 million or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll get you the exact numbers. I don't wanna...
Chris, got to keep working towards
Do
positive
you lend
cash
out
flow.
your Alzamend shares?
Oh, no.
I don't know. Did they lend them out? I mean, we have them at E-Trade. Some of them.
Honestly, if
If
you
they're
would have
doing that, we should probably get them back.
you would have to opt out of that.
We should probably make
You
work
you
on that.
literally have to opt out of that.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Alt said there were investors in a moment. You guys no longer investors in
what?
Mullen? No, we have certain investment rights. I can't comment on that, but let's just say that we did really well in the Mullen position.
BitNile is down 80% over the year. I'm sad to say this, but just about all stocks are down.
Yeah, well, I think there's a lot of crypto stocks that are down. Yeah, BitNile is down a lot more. These are statements of facts. That we're
Yeah.
down. I know.
we know.
I know because I keep buying it, and so it's lower.
Yeah.
That's right. Anyways, what's next for us, Christy? Because I have a lot I want to keep talking about.
We can go to Randy. Or
Nile needs to
wrap it up.
Nile needs to maintain 20 cents for compliance. I don't know. I don't know what the requirements there for 20 cents are. I think that's an early warning, but yeah, I can't comment on that. I'm not worried about that right now. We're solid with equity. We're solid with our shareholder base. Unfortunately, the price is not something I'm happy about. Logan James says, congratulations on the new hotel. That's what I wanted to transition to. And I got the privilege of staying in our new hotel. And by the way, I paid to stay there. Holy Toledo, is it expensive? I'm going to show you. Let's see here. Tribeca Hotel. So, those of you who have followed Nile for a long time, we invested in this hotel a long time ago, pre-COVID. This has been a struggle. I'm not going to lie to you, but it has opened up, and it is beautiful. Let's see here. Where am I going to find this here? I want to make sure I show you. Where'd Skyla go?
She had an emergency.
Oh,
She had what?
She stepped out, she got a phone call, and she had to step up.
Okay, because we got to bring her back because she stayed at the hotel too, and it was an amazing hotel. So those of you who follow us, Alt, which is Alt Real Estate Partners, Alt Global Real Estate Equities, which is a subsidiary of Alt Alpha, which is owned by Nile, owns four. We own 5 hotels. We own 4 hotels, 4 of which we own 2 Marriotts and 2 Hiltons.
correct.
Which, by the way, the equity we put into the 4 hotels is half the market cap today.
Yes.
Of the whole company.
I know.
And if you put in Alzamend, it's like absurd. Like I'm like, wow, this is crazy.
The equity of the Bitcoin mining operation.
Oh, I know.
Is
You,
over the.
it's ridiculous.
Can't even deal with this.
The market cap of like Nile is like 60, 70 million, and we put in 140 million in miners. So whatever. People clearly don't like it.
Yeah.
So the hotel opened, and it's here. Let's see if I can bring in. What would be the nicest way to show the pictures of it? It opened, and let's see, Luxury Hotel Advisors. I want to show some pictures of it that we're going. Let's see, it opens today. Here's one that shows opens today. Hold on a second here. Here we go. So can you go to my my screen? So here's the hotel. It is simply beautiful. The Hôtel Barrière opened in France in 1912. This is the first time the French have flagged a hotel in the United States, Hôtel Barrière. It's called Phuket. It opened 97 rooms, a joint venture between the French brand and Caspi Development. We are a co-investor with Caspi and Jim Parks out of Los Angeles. Simply a wonderfully, like, it was so nice, Jason.
Yeah.
That I was almost afraid to touch anything in the room. It had like a toilet, a Toto, with a control thing on the side where you sat on the seat. It was already warm. It opened up. The whole thing is crazy. Like, this is one of the nicest hotels, nicest beds, nicest place, quiet. Press one button, the curtains close and open. Then the sheer part closes and opens. So two really amazing hotel. Just on the corner there. I saw Gerard Butler. Mm-hmm. I saw. I wonder if I should say that. Probably shouldn't say who I saw there, should I? Let's just say that there were some models there. There was a famous person there. They like me, start me up. I can't get no satisfaction. Skyla, you
Todd.
left right when I was starting to talk about the hotel.
Oh, my bad.
What did you think of the hotel?
I thought it was the most elegant, beautiful hotel I've ever stayed in my life.
Right.
It was so beautiful. Like down to every inch of it. It was all thought out. The carpet was beautiful. The shades, everything about it. The marble in the bathroom. It's just, and all the staff are so nice, and they're all learning how to greet you in French and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I noticed they all speak to me in French when I showed up.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It just
Yeah.
makes it more authentic, which is really cool.
Huh.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. It was, and so we invested in that hotel what feels like maybe 5 years ago, 4 years ago.
That hotel managed to get through the entire COVID.
That hotel got through COVID, got through a bankruptcy, got through. I mean, it's a miracle.
Yeah, for sure.
And I would encourage you all, if you like to enjoy like beautiful hotels. It is at 456 Greenwich Street in New York, right in the heart of
What's that, Tribeca?
Tribeca.
Yeah.
Jay-Z, Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Brady, and I hope not his ex-wife, live across the street.
My college roommate there lives right there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was that Jimmy Fallon?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people live right there. It's really beautiful. It's one of the most exclusive neighborhoods around. I will admit it is a. Can we go to the pictures real quick here? Oh, this is actually what it looks like. So can we pull it up real quick? It actually looks like this, and this is the street, and this is the entrance right here. It is something to marvel. I'm not going to lie to you, and I'm pretty excited that we built it and we got it done. And it's open and operational. Mm-hmm. So we own part of this hotel. We own 4 other hotels in the Midwest, 2 Marriotts, 2 Hiltons.
Yeah.
And if you saw our forecast today, they did great quarter over quarter.
Actually, yeah, I have that. So it looks like, according to the numbers here, real estate was, for the 3 months ending September 30th, 2022, $5.5 million. And 9 months, $12.8 million.
Right.
So, that's good revenue, in my opinion.
If you attended the Risk On conference earlier this year in May, that was open to the public. The conference on November 10th with Anthony Scaramucci is at that hotel. It is a private event. It is sold out.
Yeah.
You cannot get a ticket. So that event will be televised, though. We will be having that event, some of it live. On November 10th, it's an evening with Todd Ault and Anthony Scaramucci. It is at the La Fouquet Hotel. It's the first major event besides Fashion Week that'll be happening there. And we will be demonstrating some stuff about the marketplace for Nile. And if you are interested in learning more about BitNile.com and what's happening with the marketplace around Bitcoin, I just want to be clear. It's a Bitcoin central network that it will accept 40 other forms of crypto and 22 different forms of fiat currency. So there's a lot to learn about the marketplace in the future. Listen, obviously, no one's really built a network around Bitcoin for commerce. Mm-hmm. I mean, there are people who do it as an add-on, right?
Right.
But they really kind of just throw that out there. I remember Overstock said, oh, yeah, we'll accept Bitcoin, but really kind of it's not a central theme. BitNile is a central theme. It comes off the basis of the reason I came up with the idea about 5-6 years ago was that the Nile River was the original merchant, it was the original way trade took place for a long time before Christ and after Christ, right? And bit refers to sort of a digital world, and this is the come together of a digital transformation of assets and a digital transformation of how you sell. And imagine a world where you can sell in one common denominator around the globe. Everyone pays the same. You can sell it anywhere in the world, and you can use the network anywhere in the world. It's a big idea. And that's, of course, why we're going to have a conference on the 17th to continue to discuss that. Jason, you're going to be with me, right?
For sure. Absolutely.
Jason, tonight we're going somewhere I wanted to go in a long time, and I haven't had that in more than a month.
Yeah, we're going to the Pizza Rock.
Yeah, we're going to the Pizza Rock.
Anybody goes to Vegas, come check out the Pizza Rock. And
the
there's
best.
one in Henderson,
the Red
one
Top,
downtown.
Detroit Red Top is
Those of
the
you who
best
don't know this
thing
about
there.
me, I've been in real estate for a long time. And I'll be speaking at a real estate conference at the MGM the 4th through the 6th of November. I don't know what day I'll be speaking.
4th.
I'll be speaking on the 4th, apparently,
Yes.
according to Skyla.
Yeah.
And this is Jerome's, right?
Yep, Jerome Maldonado.
Real estate domination. You gotta give one big kudos to Jerome. Now, this is a guy who's partnered with Ty Lopez. This guy has consistently, when I meet people that know Jerome, they are so loyal because he helps them through the process. I've met firefighters, policemen, doctors, all kinds of people who bought and built real estate with Jerome in New Mexico and around the country. He's a really common, simple guy, family guy who is very loyal, and I think that he gets a loyal following. So I think this is my third year speaking at his conference, and those of you who don't understand that Nile is the controlling shareholder, actually the only shareholder of Ault Global Real Estate Equities. We have been building, we built the apartment building with the Caspies. Now, to be fair, the Caspies built that. We just provide capital, and I don't know what else we did. We smiled at them as they built it. We have been renovating the properties in the Midwest, but we've been at the real estate game for a long time. I started my career at Dean Witter. We were involved in real estate syndication for REITs, for Irvine apartment communities, equity office properties, Avalon Bay, Macerich. You know, every REIT in the 90s. I came across my desk.
You know, keeping in that theme, Scott Moore has a question. I want to ask it for him.
Scott Moore has a question.
Are you considering Sanibel Island or the Fort Myers area as a place to invest after the hurricane?
I'll tell you, back to the pissing in the wind comment. By the way, I noticed that people are quoting that the stock is down. It doesn't change that we're in business. Stocks go down. Sometimes the market doesn't like a stock, and clearly they don't like what we're doing, or they wouldn't be lower. But our business plan is what it is, and we've always said that eventually we're going to dividend out, turn on green. We're looking at Gresham as the next one after that, and now ultimately the big Kahuna dividend will be. So if you're a shareholder of Nile, like I am, I want all those dividends in my account. I want to get all those different companies and have them become pure plays in their categories. And we kind of said this from the beginning, what our plans were. We kind of laid this out. I mean, if you've been here a long time, you know the story. Now, am I happy that it's down? I'm not happy. Nope. But what can I do about it?
Back to the Florida real estate
back
question.
to Florida real estate.
Yeah, what do you think?
So I was talking about pissing in the wind a little bit, right? The raising of rates and the inflation and the delivery of product. So I'm gonna give you an analogy that I was just given over the weekend, and that is, everyone knows that we raced some cars at the Indy 500, right?
Sure.
It's hard to find people to work on pit crews.
Yeah,
I know that McLaren and other people are looking for qualified people to work on pit crews.
Yeah.
And for some reason, and maybe Elon's right, it's really hard to find people to work. We're struggling finding people to work. So when I think about investing in a new area, I worry about the raising of rates, what they've done to the rate market, right?
Right.
And on top of that, try to order toilets and doorknobs and carpet and stuff like this. The lead times are off the chart.
Okay.
And for some reason, the prices are going parabolic.
So materials, lead time,
Yeah.
total cost of the production,
Yeah.
all those things weigh in. But
if I'm speaking only from Nile's perspective, if you exclude everything from the Bitcoin marketplace, which is capital intensive, everything we're doing at Alliance, which is owned by BitNile, is focused on, can we generate cash in mining Bitcoin? Can we generate cash at the lender?
right.
What is Turn on Green need to go as a public company? What is Gresham going to do? We're looking at things that are going to return cash.
Sure.
And the lead time to invest in some of these projects in Florida, I just think is in an uncertain world. You just need the Fed to. The Fed basically has their boot on our neck.
So
And
time,
they're
money,
pushing
value.
too
So,
hard
Yeah, you're looking
on-
at time, money, value.
I am.
And then, of course, we didn't even mention in Florida, there's a huge problem with insurance now.
No, it's huge, gigantic.
So that's
yeah.
another thing to think about. And I love Florida. So, okay, so that was a good answer. I really appreciate that. Scott, I hope that helped you.
So we would look at it, but it's probably unlikely, given that we have this sort of big thing happening with the marketplace. I look at what you do. I love what you're doing and going to be doing in bullion and hard assets.
Yeah, sound money for, there's a way
I mean,
to.
remember, the marketplace will allow you to buy silver and gold. It's going to allow you to buy real estate. These are things that are not really being done on a regular basis.
That's very true.
Right, and so we're trying to disrupt in a place like that. Plus, don't forget we own biotechs, two of them, AdTech Pharma and Alzamend Neuro. So we're kind of focused up on what we have now. We're focused on harvesting. And ironically, when I looked earlier about the guy saying the price is down 90%, yeah, that's why I've been buying. And I'm not recommending. I want to be clear. You shouldn't buy Nile. If it's scary to you to own something that is so low priced, and I see people saying they put all their net worth into it, don't be foolish and do something like that. If you want to take a flyer, go ahead. But hey, listen, man, the stock is down a lot, and I would be nervous.
Yep.
I'm a different animal, is that I know what's happening, and I'm focused on what the long-term value I'm trying to build here is. But I admit that it's like I said 6 months ago, it really sucks that Bitcoin prices have continued. I mean, remember, we put money in Bitcoin when it was at 50,000, and now it's 19,200. You got a headwind there that's pretty powerful, and no one should ever put all their money in something they don't understand, let alone a stock for, under $2 or $3 on an exchange where you're in investment mode. But
we're not recommending anything. You guys do your own research. We're working on executing our operational business plan and getting miners deployed.
Right.
That's what we're working on.
Right.
So,
for sure.
Sure.
And it continues, but we're happy to be back. This is episode, I believe, 237. Skyla, before we get to Randy, do you think we should tell the joke after or before?
That's up to you.
All right,
It's
let's
your
get
show.
to Randy. You'll come back, right?
All right.
This one. Randy's coming in.
Got him!
Yeah, I mean, the real estate market is very volatile right now. Very volatile.
Really, yeah, very volatile.
It's another
Sure.
part. So,
Oh, is this like a wait for Randy music? Hey, while we're waiting, and there's 63 of us, and we've been streaming for, how long have we been streaming?
Bob, I like gold.
Oh, right. Okay. A little celebration here. Can we can't zoom in, can we? We zoom in? We can't really zoom in.
Perfect.
You see that?
Like that, yeah. Perfect like that.
Okay, what does this say? It says, presented to Milton Todd Ault III for passing 100,000 subscribers for this show. There you go. There's a mirror so I can look at myself.
Nice.
Randy, you went to a NASCAR race.
Yeah.
You got your Bubba on?
Yeah.
How'd that go for you?
Yeah.
Look at
well,
Randy getting all excited. Yeah.
No, it's funny that you ask, right? My expectations were so low.
Right.
You guys know I'm not a NASCAR fan. I mean, I went in 76 to Daytona with my dad. That was awesome. And I didn't plan on ever going to another race because I didn't really like the cars over the future years. I didn't really like any of it or the drivers. But, yeah, it was outstanding, man. Thanks to the money team, Willie
Floyd.
and Lenny, Caitlin. They were incredible, man. They treated us really well. It was awesome. We had and you were hobnobbing with everybody, man. Every driver and owner, you were like right
Well,
in.
what astonishes me is why people write, they say, Todd's just going there because he likes racing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like racing. Do you know what you do? I had, I think, 6 meetings
Yeah.
with a who's who of the Fortune 500 there.
Yeah.
I met a guy who owns an airline, an actual airline, publicly traded, an airline. I met the president of Chevy. That's like my 3rd meeting with them.
Jim Campbell.
By the way, we sell EV chargers, folks.
Yeah.
It's business to business and it's business to customer. So all you idiots writing me that we don't have a strategy, you think the board's going to let me spend money on sponsoring cars for no reason?
Yeah.
Really? I'm 50, going to be 53 years old. Really?
Yeah.
We raised like $450-500 million. We have business. Look what we own. Defense companies, EV companies, lenders, hotels. You don't just go pick up a Marriott. You got to get approved. I mean, you guys are just like, as an investor, I would just clue you in that if you're writing on a message board about my weight or about stupidity, then you're not really an investor. You're not really an investor.
It's a waste.
You're wasting your time. Now, I read it for fun, just to see what people are saying. But if you guys really believe what you're writing, Why do you own the company then?
They take the time to put gimmick.
Why do you own it if you believe what you're writing?
The gimmick accounts are funny.
Yeah, they're like, you guys are ridiculous.
I mean,
We're there for a reason.
They're creative. I'll give them that.
I mean, they're creative, but you guys are like, think about like what takes place in NASCAR and what takes place at Indy and the industries involved. Who sells things? Do people sell cars and parts? Do we need suppliers and power supplies? I am dumbfounded by your investment thesis. I'm not dumbfounded if you say, hey, the price is down. I mean, you know how to read.
yeah.
I agree with you, it's down. But there can be plenty of times where a business doesn't match what's happening in the stock. And I can tell you, we pre-announced today to make it clear to everybody, our plans are on track. Are they perfect? Is the future going to be perfect? It's not going to be perfect. Things change because the Federal Reserve's raising rates, Bitcoin prices go down, difficulty goes up. That's the market, that's business. But to make it so wholly personal, you're wasting your time writing stuff about family and kids. You guys are just not really investors. But Randy is really a fan, and now you love NASCAR, huh? I saw you eating some Bojangles there, no?
No, I didn't have Bojangles.
What'd you have?
They had, oh my God, on a Saturday, did you have that spaghetti? It was just
you're
catered.
still talking about the spaghetti.
Dude, it was incredible, but it wasn't like track spaghetti. That was like restaurant quality or homemade quality spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti?
Huh?
Mom spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So no, it was great. The whole weekend was great. Honestly, it exceeded my expectations. It's
The
unfortunate we
NASCAR
didn't.
people were nice, though.
Oh
Weren't
yeah,
they nice?
they treated us
really
all. They
nice.
welcomed us all with open arms.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy was we were walking down that red carpet after the 1948 VIP event where you were meeting all the owners and drivers and you were
Yeah.
talking to a bunch of people.
You met Richard
And-
Petty, dude.
Dude, I not only met Richard Petty, but I sat with him
What?
for like a half an hour
Yeah.
with the king, Richard Petty.
Petty Enterprises.
Yeah, it was incredible.
The
Yeah, it's hard to get to
businessman.
him too. You were very lucky, like you said.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk to a lot of people.
No, it was incredible.
But it's funny when we were walking out of that 1948 event where you were talking to all those people, Kyle Busch and everybody. We're walking out and we were walking on a red carpet. Remember that?
Uh-huh.
It was a red carpet for all the drivers, and all these fans were piled on the sides of this red carpet, waiting to meet the drivers or maybe get an autograph or a picture. And here we are walking, and they're looking at us, and we got our BitNile stuff, and they're like going, "Who are these guys?" They're like
Yeah.
trying to figure out who are we or.
It was
pretty
strange to
funny.
me when I met Kyle. He's like, "Yeah, I know all about your guys. My manager knows someone else who," and so it is. I promise you, I have a strategy. What if it's the right strategy? The market will let us know. But the brands involved with racing are the brands we want to be involved with. I love being there. I love being there with the people. But we're there for business purposes, folks. You think I really want to be traveling every weekend of every weekend? I mean, do I have a good time? Of course. My producer was there. My wife was there. We bring family. We're a family-oriented business. But we're all there for business. I mean, you brought me some people for business. You, right there, Randy, you
Right.
have.
Yep.
You brought me a billionaire
Yep.
from somewhere in Vegas.
Yep.
From an event.
We've got a lot
We're
of stuff.
here
Well,
for
so,
business,
there's a lot of
folks.
networking and the relationships we've made with some of these people is incredible, right? It's really awesome. So you're
Right.
right. I mean, I think the future is bright, and some of these people that you're going to be, you can't say anything.
Yeah.
I know you got a lot of irons in the fire, but
A lot of
it's
irons in the fire.
it's looking really good, man. I
Hey,
like
I
it.
want to speak of irons in the fire. Don't go away, Randy, because we want to talk
Okay.
about NASCAR a little bit more.
Okay.
I really, really encourage you, if you really are a shareholder of Nile, or you are interested in being a shareholder of Nile, or you're just interested in learning stuff about BitNile.com, go and sign up for the website. I'm not going to spam you. I'm not going to sell your information to someone else. But if you're on that list beforehand, you will get rewarded before everyone else. It is a very interesting thing we're building with the marketplace. You're going to hear me talk about it a lot. It's going to be, I'm just going to be talking about it like crazy. So there's a reason why we raised all that money. There's a reason for it, right, Randy?
Yep.
So, Randy, back to F1 now. What the hell happened over the weekend?
Oh, God, what a mess, man. Well, congratulations, first of all, Max Verstappen, world champion, which he didn't know initially because they gave Charles Leclerc a penalty after the race. So Max Verstappen really didn't have enough points to be champion. But once they applied the penalty after the race, so his mechanics came up to him and they said, hey, they started cheering and congratulating him. He goes, what are you talking about? I don't have enough points. He goes, no, they just penalized Charles Leclerc back to third, so that gave him the extra point that he needed to be world champion. So, but no, the race was a joke. They started it in a downpour, And I'm like, great, they're going to race. And I'm getting all excited. And then 5 cars spin off. And they go, okay, now stop the race. The race was red flagged. And I go, well, why did you start the race and stop the race if it was too wet or too dangerous? So there was a huge long delay. I don't even know how many hours. We were in North Carolina. I stayed up late into the hours of the night trying to hope they were going to restart it. Well, they did finally restart it, but they let the clock run out. They have a 2-hour time limit in F1. So by the time the race got stopped and then they let the clock run, there was only going to be 49 minutes left to race. So the race really should have been 2 hours. They got about a 49-minute race. Those fans that sat out in the rain in Japan, they got a 49-minute race, and it was just a complete joke. I mean,
what was the thing about something being on the track and the potential for an accident? Someone, I guess, lost their life.
A tractor went on the track, and they have the very bad habit of doing this in Suzuka. Whenever they have a car on the track, they're trying to get off the track, they'll drive this tractor with a crane on it onto the track. Now, Jules Bianchi got killed. He didn't die instantly. He crashed into one of them that was on the track getting a car in, I think it was 2015 maybe, in Suzuka. He ran into the tractor trailer, hit his head. He was in a coma for months, and then he died. Now, they're doing the same thing again, so the drivers were outraged. Pierre Gasly was on the track. He had a piece of signage board, and I guess this tractor, and the visibility was so bad, he just saw something. He saw a blur of yellow. He goes, whoa, and he almost hit it. So the drivers were all outraged and said this should have never happened after what happened to Jules Bianchi back in 2015.
Right.
So yeah, it was a mess, man. That whole weekend was a mess. But like I said, Verstappen won the world championship, and it's better than Hamilton winning again. And I mean, I know a lot of people didn't like this year. It was kind of a bad year. Ferrari got off to a good start, and then they just had unreliability problems and bad team management and poor pit stop management, and they just really shot themselves in the foot this year. So I'm hoping next year, since they're coming to Las Vegas, we're going to be in for a lot better show next year.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, this weekend, NASCAR's racing at Las Vegas. I will not, the money team will not be racing. Connor will not be racing, but we will be at the event. If you're going to be in Vegas, let us know. We'll say hello. We're going to be at the track, I think, on Sunday, so let us know if you're going to be at the event. We'll be down there seeing some of our friends in NASCAR. And they are becoming our friends. Yeah, Ernity, we are still involved with Ernity for sure.
Yep.
And speaking of the King, was awesome. He was incredible. Boilermakers saying CPIs on the 13th.
Yep. BMR Traders. I'm sorry, Bumby. Provident Metals. I have used them. Yeah.
Randy, anything else you want to cover?
Yeah. Did you hear about this W series? It's an all women's open wheel series. Races in Europe, and usually support some of the Formula One races. Well, they folded. They ran out of money. They're supposed to race at COTA with a Formula One event
really?
At the end of this month. Now they canceled that, and they were supposed to do 2 races in Mexico City to end the season. So now they had to cancel the rest of the season. Now Jamie Chadwick's been declared champion. She won the other 2 championships previously. She's really good, and Andretti gave her a test ride in Indy Lights. So I'm hoping she comes to IndyCar. She's got to now, because if the W Series doesn't have enough money to keep going, where's she going to go? Formula One, it'll take her 3-4 years to even get a sniff at a Formula One seat. So
how old is Jamie?
I think she's 25.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure exactly, but she's really good. She's the next Danica, or even better than Danica probably. She's really talented, and she just needs an opportunity. So I'm pretty sure she'll come to North America, and she'll like it here. You know how everybody welcomes.
Where's she from?
England. England, but really good talent. I mean, it's not just another woman driver. This is a woman driver who can really do something if she comes over here. So I'm glad Michael Andretti gave her a test. Now, there's no word about if she's going to get a ride in Indy Lights, but it'd be smart for somebody to pick her up. She's the real deal. She's going to be good.
A shout out to Alex Rossi and Alexander Rossi for flying his team down, his friends down.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Supporting Connor. I thought that was great. I thought Connor did great. He ended up 34th. His first race ever. He made it. He finished. That's all my goal was for him. The BitNile car looked beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just incredible. I was really thrilled about it. All right, Randy, we need to bring back Skyla and wrap it up because I have a conference call in 12 minutes.
Yeah,
Thanks,
one more
Randy.
thing. The last thing was that was the best part of yesterday. Was sitting in the pit box with Alex Rossi watching the start of the race.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
That's cool. It's cool he brought his friends, and Connor's girlfriend was there to support him, and that part was great.
Yep. All right, guys.
Nice.
Where's Skyla here?
Hey, Bumby, findbullionprices.com. Nick, will you go to my screen? And I'm not recommending this site, but I use findbullionprices.com.
We should be
right there.
We should be available to do the show the rest of the year. I don't know when we're rebranding it. We're going to do a couple break-offs. We're working on that. Our producer's working hard, Christy.
Thanks, Nick.
We got the don't forget about. We're going to broadcast the November 10th event. If you were invited to that event, don't forget to RSVP. If you're not going, there's very limited seating. Skyla, you'll be at the November 10th event.
I will. I'm excited.
So, Skyla, we haven't had a joke from you in 47 days.
I know.
You don't seem very motivated to tell the joke today. You all right there?
No, I am. I'm just hoping that you find it as funny as I do.
I like your. Well, is it about me?
No.
Okay, well,
It's
let's
not
listen
about you.
clearly. What's the joke?
How can you tell if an ant is a boy or a girl?
How can you tell if an ant is a boy or a girl?
Well, they're all girls because otherwise they'd be uncles.
Oh, God.
Jeez. Wow.
Yeah.
That's really.
That's pretty good.
You think that's
I
good?
thought it
Yeah.
was pretty funny.
I like it.
Um,
What's the rest of the week look like for shows? Have you thought about it?
I'm looking at the calendar, and don't we have
Next Monday we've got the call.
Next Monday we have the call.
Okay.
The 14th is a Friday.
Okay.
I think we'll definitely do a Friday show. My concern here is that I never really wanted these to be BitNile shows, but this is something we always try to be transparent about.
Yeah.
And we wanted to have guests. So I think we're going to go back to a format where we have a guest at each show.
That's good.
Because this is not really a format. I mean, it's not clearly if you gauge all the what you guys are saying, you say stock price. Well, what we're doing in media isn't helping the stock price. The transparency which is required is quarterly earnings reports, and then an 8K if something happens that's not usual or common in its business. So we're only really required to report 4 times a year, and we're not required to issue press releases unless it's material, and even then it can be an 8K. So I tried to do this to provide to people transparency. What is provided is threats, people threatening to kill me and my family. I got one over the weekend that I should be taken out. Of course, Twitter took those people down. So I'm not going to let that affect me. I want to be available for shareholders who want to be part of the long-term holding company that we're building, but I understand how difficult it is. The price has not performed, and I'm with everybody. It's not a fun environment, and I don't blame anyone for being upset about the price. What I blame them for is misinformation and personal threats. So that being said, I just don't know that this is the right format for Risk On, because really, when you look at what the people at BitNile Holdings are doing, the people that work here, they're doing some exciting stuff. I mean, just keep in mind, the money that we help raise has put a treatment for Alzheimer's, PTSD, and bipolar in human beings in phase 2A. We have bought hotels that were doing poorly during COVID that have employ more than 150 people. We have funded research for a drug that's a synthetic cannabinoid for glaucoma. We're doing a lot of stuff here, and just to say the price is down does not reflect the people, the hard work, and what's taking place here at the people that work here. And so we want to focus more on the stuff that is taking place. Now, Jason, you and your team, people you work with, have taken a data center, a copper mine that was left for dead. You guys have revitalized part of Dowagiac, Michigan. You've invested heavily in building out a data center and a co-location center. You've filled the place up to capacity with logistics companies that are subleasing from us. That asset wasn't producing. Now it's producing. And, Jason, you've lined up 20,000 plus miners, 21,000 something, and we're producing Bitcoin at a higher rate every single quarter. Obviously, the price is lower.
Right.
But so I'm incredibly proud of the team, and I don't think the team deserves to be demoralized by having a show that's all about like people complaining when we have so many positive things going on. So we're reevaluating kind of where we are in terms of what this should look like and what's productive for the company, what's productive for the stock, what's productive for the understanding, because people don't understand that when we issue Alt Alliance as a dividend, that's a big dividend. When we issue Turn on Green and Gresham, these are companies been around, Turn on Green and Digital Power, Digital Power, the company, has been around for over 50 years. So we got a long ways to go to do better explaining. We hope on the 17th of October we do a better job of explaining that as a shareholder of Nile, you're going to get 4 different companies and other benefits. We just have clearly not done the job that we should be doing to explain the value proposition. I got to do a better job of it. I take responsibility. I got to explain it better. And we don't know that this story is being told in the right way in this format. So we're examining that. Christy, our producer, Willie, our president and CEO of our media business, is looking at how we can explain things better. One of the funnest things I ever did with you was when we were doing baseball. We're not doing baseball anymore. So
Playoffs are here.
Right.
Start tomorrow's. The Yankees are on. There's 4 games tomorrow.
Seattle didn't make it, did they?
Seattle made it.
They made it.
Yeah, they're playing Houston in the ALDS tomorrow. First game, game 1.
How many teams left?
8. The grade 8.
8 teams. They're in the grade 8.
They're all playing tomorrow, and the Padres look really good. They're playing the Dodgers. They beat the Mets.
Oh, wow.
They beat them last night, 6-0.
Okay, guys, we'll see you back here on Wednesday, and we'll probably be here Friday, too. Check out my website, and you can get on my text account, and we text you when we're going to be live. Go to toddault.com and go to the bottom, and you can put your number in there. I don't sell your information. I don't bombard you with stuff. But if you're on the text account, you can get that. If you go to Todd Ault and sign up for the email address, we'll also email you when shows come up. We just sent one out about Scaramucci and other shows, so we will keep you informed. Thanks to Skyla, Willie from the money team. That was fun over the weekend. His wife Becky, Christy, everyone for going. Jason, Andrea, all the people that attended the event here at NASCAR. It was really fun. Connor, proud of you, buddy.
Yeah.
Everyone, risk on. Take care. We'll see you Wednesday.